is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, Counterbalance Solutions, where we're even in the playing field. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. But if you are not, welcome back. I'm gonna tell y'all now, I've been trying to get this video recorded for hours at this point, and every time I do, something else is going on. So if there's stuff in the background, y'all forgive me, but it is what it is. Y'all know how we rock around these parts. So y'all read the title, y'all know what's going on. Y'all come and sourcing with me. Now, disclaimer off top, you guys, everybody sources differently. The way you source may not be how I source, and that's cool, okay? Like, we all gravy, okay? So I'm just trying to give you guys different ideas on how to source. And for me personally, these are the ways that I source. So I'm gonna give you a few different ways, probably about 3, just to give you, you know, kind of a broad option. So let's start with my third, or probably like one of my worst favorite ways to source. And that for me is store sourcing, you guys. Now, if you ain't got no kids or nothing like that, like, I get being able to go to the store and just stand there all day and scan. Got it? But it is not for me, boo-boo. Okay? Y'all, I got 2 kids. Like, trying to stand in the store and source is just overwhelming, 1, but 2, stressful. Not even just that, but at the same time, it's like a lot of times I've noticed that the information isn't as accurate when you're just store sourcing, because you are trying to get through the products. So unless you just got a ample amount of time and energy and just, you know, like going to the store, girl, more power to you, but it is definitely not the way for me. Now, I will say, when I do store source, I only store source because I have a product that I'm picking up and I check literally the same aisle. With checking the same aisle, I will tell you, I only do about 10 to 15 products on that one run. Like, I'm not gonna pick up product, go to a different aisle, pick a product and do it again. Like, that's too much for me. So I will choose the aisle that I'm going to try and source in, and then I will scan. Now, I'll scan between 10 to 15 items, and if one works out, great. If I find one with a great rate, great. But if not, then I keep moving, and that's the end of that sourcing time. Now, I do source new products. I want to say I do source a lot. I still probably source at least 2 or 3 times a week. Just because you do have to, if you're not going into like private labeling or stuff like that, you do have to constantly be adding stuff, because things are changing daily. You'll have new sellers, the pricing will change, all that. So that's just something to definitely keep in mind when you are sourcing. But again, for me, store sourcing is just, for me, it's just too much. It's just too much effort, time, and it's just not for me. And like I said, I don't feel like the information is as accurate as when you can be at home and really paying attention. So store sourcing, 1. Number 2, let's go ahead and get to this lappy, because let me tell y'all, this lappy about to show y'all how your girl really source. Now, I got 2 really favorite, well, kind of like 3 extra ways to source. Amazon regular source, where I just choose something, I'll type it in, and I will go to that, or like start scrolling through and see what options there are. Now, that's cool, but I'm gonna also show y'all some extra ways, so let's go ahead. And also, you guys, if you're new to selling, if you haven't started with your own products scanning in your house, what are you doing? Like, that should literally be your very first sourcing trip, is sourcing your own home products. When I say home products, I mean anything and everything in your home with a barcode. I don't care if it's an old box, new box, whatever the case may be, scan that mofo, okay? Because let me tell you something, if you bought it, 9 times out of 10, someone else will buy it. So jumping right in, let's talk about online sourcing with Amazon. You have a few ways that you can actually do it. 1, you can literally just go to bestsellers, and once you're in here, you can just go and start scrolling through. Obviously, there are going to be completely different items because this is literally just the best sellers of Amazon. So it's not like it's like separated by category or anything like that. So you can do this. Now, also, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you can actually do a Google search in Amazon or in Google, do a search for the Amazon products on Google. You know what I'm saying? So you can literally do it that way, you guys. If you're not sure. So let me just kind of show y'all that. So if you wanted to, you could literally do Amazon best selling beauty products. And literally, when you do it this way, it will actually pull up a full list. Actually, you can go through something like this. You can go through something like this. Obviously, if you do choose the list that actually does come from Amazon, for me, I do feel like that's going to be the best way. But yeah, if you do it this way, and you can literally just Google search the best Amazon products, whether it's groceries, electronics, sporting goods, whatever the case may be, you can literally just pull up their rank and it will give you the top 100 items that they think are the best sellers, quote unquote. When I say they, I'm talking about obviously Amazon itself. Now, with this being said, this can be a good way and a bad way to source. The good thing is obviously you're literally finding the top best products. It's easy and you can be like, okay, look, I know where this is. I know where that is. Now, that is the only downside with doing it this way. You do have to keep in mind that if you source this way, you literally have to find who sells the product. So, just something to keep in mind. I mean, obviously, a lot of these products are going to be able to be locally found, but sometimes it can be a little hard to do it that way because obviously, pricing is going to be different places. And just you may not be able to find the right size at the store or whatever the case may be. So, but with that being said, I mean, it literally will give you the top 100 items. As y'all can see, they got plenty of reviews. And if you can find one, hello, baby. I'm sure that those are going to be some great ranks. So let's just jump in. Let's just choose one. So I wanted to go ahead and get into the products just so y'all can see. So I think this one was at like 40 or something like that ranking. But if you scroll down and you see the Keepa, you can see the Keepa, it definitely is selling. It's definitely selling very well. They're selling a lot of them. It's pretty consistent as you can see. So yeah, those are all great signs as well. Now, again, you can always do it different ways. Again, this is from just the going through the best sellers and that way. And then as well as that, as you can see, you can even choose different products or different categories to go into. So that is one way to source, is literally best sellers, Google search, and bam, you have a whole list of good stuff. Now, personally, you guys, when I am looking through here, I am also paying very much attention to like how many reviews it has, because of course you have to think it's like what 100 per one review or like 1,000 people per one review that you normally get. So if it has a lot of reviews, that definitely means that it's sold quite a few times. And like I said, that was a rank 37. So let's just look at one more real quick. Something that I'm familiar with. So this is actually higher up on the bestseller ranking. I want to say this was like a number 10. And you can actually scroll up, as you can see. And as you can see, it's even Amazon's choice. And if you scroll down, oh yes, baby. These are selling like hot cakes. This is definitely a great way to source. But again, the only downside with this is that you have to find the products and who sells the products. Now, that is just a quick Google search, of course, but sometimes it can be, harder depending on where the locations are, stuff like that, depending on your situation. But this is definitely a great way I love to source. Now, another way I love to source, you guys, is brand sourcing. So let me show y'all how to do that. Let's choose like a big brand, and don't choose like, for instance, if you're thinking like Trick cereal, don't do like trick cereal. Even though I'm sure you will find plenty of options like that, you want to try and broaden your range as much as possible. And I'm going to show you why. So let's say tricks cereal. So if you do pull up tricks, you don't get me wrong, this is a great way to do it as well. You are going to get obviously plenty of options for the tricks itself. And that's great. But what I normally strongly suggest is to like go with the parent brand. So for instance, yes, it's Trick Cereal. Their parent brand is General Mills. So what I would normally do is again, this is a great way to source. As you can see, you can find great. So let's just go ahead and click. Now, as you can see too, you're gonna have different sizes. Always something to keep in mind. Be mindful of exactly what you are buying, you guys. But this is a great way to source, and you can do it this way. But as again I said, I personally prefer to go with like the parent company. For instance, if it's not General Mills, I'd go with Kellogg's, because they're bigger, they have more brands under them, and it's a broader variety to source with the company. So that's really why I prefer to go with the parent brand. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just show y'all General Mills. You can just do cereal. Now again, as you guys can see, a lot of options pull up. And again, this is where I would just be mindful of, for instance, looking at all of these, the most one that catches my eye is going to be the cinnamon toast and the frosted Cheerios. And that's because, again, you guys, you want to be looking at these reviews. If it has a lot of reviews, 9 times out of 10 it has been bought a lot, which is a good sign for you. As you can see, also you'll have things like these, and most of this stuff you can get at your local store. So great products to source. So this is also a phenomenal way to find items. Now, this is my second favorite way to source. As you can see, again, it's a great product. They got plenty of sales going on. And also, don't forget, you also want to see how many sellers there are. Though that's going to be beyond important, because that's how you determine if you're going to be able to be competitive and how many products you need, XYZ. So this is actually my second favorite way to source, you guys. But let's go ahead and get into the last but not least, my ultimate favorite, the way that I literally source probably 95% of my stuff, and that is via other sellers. Now, the reason I do it this way is because you have to think of it like this. These other sellers have already gone in and done the work for you, basically. They've already gone in and was like, okay, these are great products. I'm adding them to my portfolio, So when I think about it like that, I'm like, okay, cool. Like that, they've already thought that through. So that's a great product to jump on. Now, as well as that, I also, when I'm choosing, because I do believe it's very important that you choose the right seller to source from, I guess. Now, disclaimer off top, when I say source from them, I am not saying take their whole catalog. Like, that's beyond ridiculous, okay? There are literally millions of sellers, you guys. You do not have to choose one and steal their whole catalog. But what I am suggesting is to maybe pull 1 or 2 a week, and then choose 2 of their items, like one from each, and then boom, you have another great product to add. So how I do this is, first and foremost, I always look for the seller that has the best reviews, because that means they know what they're doing. They've been in it for a while, and yeah, they basically know what they're doing. So I definitely start with that, and I look at pricing, because normally if they're doing what you're doing, the pricing should be about the same. Now, of course, you have people who go to wholesalers, which I definitely do. I do my wholesalers and stuff. But a lot of stuff too, I just buy at regular stores as well. So, and you can even see that in the reflection of a lot of people's pricing. So that's something I also keep in mind when I'm looking is, okay, if I was to buy this product and, the fees are this and that, is this the same price or do they have a better price? So it's just really something to keep in mind. Now, the one place that really is standing out to me right now is this place. I see they have a lot of reviews. They're pretty positive. Even this one here was good, but I definitely think that this person here is going to be a little better. So what you will do is just hyperlink their name. You will see like their whole information. Now, obviously, I'm going to blurt out their address and a business name and all that good stuff. But you can go all the way into the information. Now, something to let y'all know, you cannot do this via the phone app. So if you're on your cell phone, you cannot pull their products up the same way like you do on your desktop. So just something to keep in mind. And what you'll do is if you're on their page, you just scroll to here, you'll see their reviews and everything, and you just click products. All right, now once you're inside someone's portfolio or their products, this is all up to you what you want to source. If you're more into doing like home products, do that. If you're more into groceries, do that. If you're more into electronics, do that. Do whatever you feel is the direction for your store. But when I definitely consider all of that, and I try and go for what I'm looking for out of my products. For instance, I do a lot of groceries. I definitely feel like groceries be the one, y'all. Groceries be hitting. So that right there in itself would make me be like, okay, let me look at Oreo. Now, once I'm inside of the section that I want to be, as y'all can see, they got 3 great products for this. And what I'll do is I will literally, because it all matters, you guys, I'll literally look at the products and be like, okay, for instance, this is a lot. That's 56 packs. It's probably a lot to get. Do I want to be a part of that? Probably not. But I definitely see that it's a great ranking. But then I come to products like this, I come to products like this, and I'm like, oh, okay, that may be better for me. So once I do, for instance, I'm fairly sure I could probably find this product. I'll open it up and I will just, look at the ranking, look at how many sellers. Just FYI, you guys, if you're literally doing it this way and you're going through people's store pages to go through their products, you will not be able to see other sellers. It's literally just only pulling their product page information for their. And then, of course, if one doesn't work, you just go to the next. And like I said, once you are in that next product, you just scroll and just check it. As you can see, again, there's a few sales, but it's not that many sales as well. And again, this is why I like doing it this way, because at this point, this person has basically done some of the work for me. Like they bought the product, they sourced it, and now they're holding it, and I can see whether or not the sales are good or not. So this is definitely my top tier favorite way to source, you guys. And it has truly just helped me just grow, just constantly be expanding my brand and finding the best products. As well as that, you guys, think about it like this too. You want to have exclusive products. So that comes away by making your own listings or local products. That's also something I just wanted to throw out there, a little extra sauce. Let's say that you're, for instance, I'm going to give y'all a great example. Texas. Y'all, we have Buc-ee's. There's no other Buc-ee's in the whole United States other than in Texas. So those products, if you're not in Texas, it's like you can only, it cuts the market down, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm rambling, but that's what I'm trying to say. If you can find products that are specific for your area or specific for your region or whatever the case may be, mind you, it just cuts down so much more competition because that means other people can't get it. For instance, if you're not in Texas, unless you're making a trip to Texas, you ain't getting no Bucky stuff. So that's something to just keep in mind. But this works in so many different places, so many different ways. And yeah, again, this is my personal favorite way to source. And these are just the tips and tools and stuff that I think of when I'm going through it. So I really hope that this information was really helpful. I really hope you guys got some new ways of sourcing, or at least some new ideas to kind of, refresh your sourcing mind, I guess. But I really hoped it helped. Like, share, and subscribe if it did. Feel free to comment if you have any questions or anything like that. Hit me on the book, you guys, at Counterbalance Solution, or Facebook.com/Counterbalance Solutions. But other than that, yeah, again, like, share, subscribe, and I am out. Peace.